Hello everyone. What is going on? Welcome to my channel. My name is Jen, or otherwise known as Miska Cat on all other forms of social media, which I'm pretty much only involved in on Instagram. I don't do a lot of Facebook, but nonetheless, it's been, well, I was going to say a long time since I last filmed, but I think it's only been about an hour. So, if you've watched my finished parade, thank you so much. If you have not and are just tuning in now, this is my channel. It is a channel primarily about cross stitch, and I have been meaning to do this video, I kid you not, for like 2 years. I actually had filmed it last year, around January, and I could not get it to upload for the life of me, and I finally got a new iMac, so I'm good to go now. So just have not had time to do this, but I thought it's the middle of the year, everybody else is doing mid-year whip parades. I'm gonna do just a regular whip parade because I feel like there's been a lot that's happened since I last filmed. Again, I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing or not. There were multitude of reasons why I stopped doing Flosstube. Some of the main ones, just so people know, is I don't stitch like a lot of other people. I don't have 200 projects. I'm not rigid with my stitching. I don't stitch on this one on Mondays and Tuesdays on this one, and I don't rotate through my projects throughout the week. So I felt very much like my videos were a little bit boring because I would just work on one thing for like a week, and that's why I didn't film, right? Because nobody wants to see a 3-minute video of look at what I've done, have a nice rest of your week, right? So I mean, I know for myself, I enjoy people that do longer videos. I enjoy stitching to them. I enjoy being enabled by them, but I'm not that type of stitcher myself. So that being said, I felt like a whip parade might be in order. It's going to probably be a long one. Like I say, I don't have like 300 whips. I don't have a lot, but I probably have between 30 and 40 if I had to take a rough guesstimate. So it will be probably pretty long. My last video of finishes was just over an hour, so I'm expecting probably an hour for this one too. So nonetheless, let's get going. The goal is to get done before the husband is home from work, and it's about midnight now. So I have about an hour, hour and a half. So let's try and get through this, and then he won't look at me weird when he gets home. So these are going to be in no particular order. I will do better this round than I did in my finished video because I have patterns and I have names, and a lot of my fabric still has the tags on it. But I am not, I don't count stitches. I don't write down when I started things. I don't write down when I finished them. I don't really care. To me, I'm just stitching because I enjoy stitching. If it gets some work and some love, that's great. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. I don't like to put pressure on myself to stitch X amount of stitches per day, and counting stitches just stresses me out. I'm old school. I have MAC products. I don't use Pattern Keeper. I don't use markup. I stitch with paper and highlighters still. So, and to me, that is what works, and it works fine. And I don't feel like I'm a slow stitcher because of it. I just am a slow stitcher because I don't have enough time. That's my excuse. So we're just gonna delve into the pile back here. You can kind of see some of the project bags behind me. I have a lot. I have a mountain on this side and I have a small pile on this side. So we're just gonna dive in and get to it. There was something else I was going to say. I will probably think of it later, and when I do, I will let you know. So, I probably won't go into all the needle minders and where I got them from. I don't remember. I will tell you though, all the project bags are made by myself and my mom. If you are interested, we do have an Etsy store. It is called Cats Out of the Bag. I will leave a description or the shop name or a link or something down below in the description box if you're interested. Just to say, I am also having a Christmas in July sale, so if you're interested, check them out. They are quite large and substantial. I will show you this project to begin with, which is in this very cute polar bag. I use bobbin boxes and whatnot else, and as you can see, this is a chatelaine. It has a bobbin box. It has the kit from European Cross Stitch. It's got a Q-snap, it's got the paper pattern. All the bags come with a small matching bag to go with them to hold your scissors, highlighters, needle threaders, whatever little tools that you can have. So that's my PSA for the thing. But yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. And yeah, there are some bags that I actually can fit 2 bobbin boxes into, so they are very large. So if that is something that you are looking for, yeah, you might want to check out Cats Out of the Bag. So in this one, as I said, it is a chatelaine. This is my polar mandala. I am currently working on the centerpiece. I said in my finished video last time that the centers of chatelaines are always my favorite, except for maybe this guy. It looks beautiful when it's done, but oh my god, that is like, there is some intense stitching in there, and I don't know, like this is a linen, because that was how, I think this is a linen. Yes, this is a linen. So stitching 1/1 on this, my stitches aren't as neat as I would like. However, I really love this color fabric. I actually had some issues with it at first. This is actually, it's called Cosmos 28 count linen from Under the Sea Fabrics. I will show you the tag there. I originally had ordered a piece of Cosmos, and when it showed up, it didn't look like what I had expected it to. So I had emailed Leslie, and she was very kind and she was very gracious and she was amazing. And I sent her the picture that I had seen and what I was expecting, not what was sent, because they looked very different. And she let me return it, and she dyed me this new piece and sent it back to me. And I guess in order to get the proper dye, it was on linen. So this is what I wanted. This will look amazing and beautiful when it is all done. However, in the meantime, once I'm done the center, it'll be fine. Just getting through the center. And yeah, but there is my progress. This is actually the only chatelaine that I have on the go right now. So I'm trying to make myself get through this center first before I start another one, because they are oh so addictive. So, and I did try and open up all the bags in advance. I might have missed one, so I apologize if there's crinkling and zippers, but I did try and do what I could, and I'm going to put everything away as I do this, because otherwise I'm going to have a complete disaster. So anyways, the next project I will show you will be Pandemic. And I'm sure you have all seen this by now. I don't know if I have. I don't have a cover photo, but I started this when it was a free chart from Long Dunk. Jen. If anybody here watches Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, she also has issues saying long dog samplers. And yeah, anyways, it's a toughie for apparently Jens of the world. But this is what I have done so far. I have done the first page and I think most of the second page. This is on, it's got to be a, nope, I thought I had, nope. This is on 36 count rock quarry, which is I believe it's a silk weaver fabric. I love this fabric, but if it's by silk weavers, if you know, you know, their customer service is not very good and the chance of you getting one would not be very good. So anyways, hi Sterling. I have a friend all of a sudden. Ooh, who is gonna push over the whole camera. The joys of filming with furry friends. Would you like to say hi? Ooh, this is Sterling. He's my handsome, fluffy boy. He is so handsome and so fluffy, and he's the best boy ever. So this is my pandemic. I've actually been wanting to work on this for a while now. So I will tell you my plans for my stitching, because I do have some loose ones. But I will let you know what those are when the video is done. So I will actually do that and do that. Okay. Next up will be a full coverage. Oh, and that pandemic lives in this teal sugar skull bag. So out of practice from doing this, guys. Okay, the next one that I have is going to be a full coverage. It is called Red Dress. The artwork is by Bert Crowchild, I think. Yeah, or sorry, Bert Crowfoot. This is a pattern by the Frame Corner here in Edmonton. This is what it will look like when it is done. It is a tribute to the missing, murdered, and Indigenous women in Canada. And the red dress signifies that apparently in Native belief or whatever, that red is the only color that can be seen. Sorry, red is the only color that spirits can see. So that's the significance of the red in the dresses. So I have a very, 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 very small start on this. And it is a very dense and it's a very confetti heavy chart with all those trees and everything. So this is as far as I have gotten. I'm not sure how many stitches that is, but it's not a lot. And I am stitching this on one strand on 28 count, just white even weave. So like I say, not a lot done on this. I do eventually want to, not in the near future, but one day I would like to pull this out for I think the 21st of every month, I believe, is the day of like the 21st, I want to say, of August is like the day for missing Indigenous people. So but yeah, if I could pull it out once a month and even just get like a couple hundred stitches in it would be great, because otherwise I'll never get it finished. And it is in this bag right here. So, okay, the next project that I will show you is going to be Pumpkin and Crow. This is by X's and O's. This is what it will look like. It is so cool. I love it. And there's a ton of backstitching in it. There's so much. It's ridiculous. I don't have a whole lot done on this either, but I have a fair amount. This is also just stitched on a white, I'm not sure if I wrote it down, probably 28 count white even weave. And this is how far I have gotten. So I have a pretty good start on the crow. And I'm just kind of, I was going to do him and then I was going to backstitch him and then I was going to move on to the pumpkin, backstitch the pumpkin, because leaving all the backstitching till the end will probably be the death of me. Because I don't think I know anybody who backstitching is their favorite part. Oops, sorry. And that is in this musical note bag. Okay, I'm gonna kind of alternate between full coverage and some of my other pieces, because why not? The next one that I have lives in this sparkly spiderweb bag, which I love. It's just got purple lining on the inside. And this is Toil. This is artwork by Melanie Dallon, charted by Hade. And I love this chart so much. Love it. And I am stitching this 1/1 on 32 count, probably mushroom even weave. This piece is going to be so big, even on 32 count. And on this one, I have the first page finished. So not a lot. But it will get there eventually. Okay, next piece will live in this bag. And I just put some bees in it. This was one of the first bags that we were starting to make, and we were trying a zipper inside instead of the little bags. And it turns out the little bags are easier to make, and they're a lot quicker too than doing the inside zipper. So that's why we decided to go that route. And the one that lives in this bag is going to be Florentina. It's not the best photo, but I will show you that is what she's going to look like. This is by Mirabilia. And I love her because of the cat that is chilling out with her. And this is on a piece of hand-dyed fabric that I got from my friend Kim, who was dyed by her LNS, and it's so perfect for it. And that is what she is looking like. The next thing I'm going to do on her is do her face and the rest of her skin and get that over and done with. And then I feel like the rest of her will just go so fast after that. The dresses stitch up so fast, I feel like. And I did make a small counting error on her arm, because she didn't line up perfectly with where the top of the pedestal is, but I don't care. But I really love her, and I love her dress, and I think she will look stunning on this fabric. So I think this is the only Mara that I have on the go now too. So I'm going to have to work on changing that maybe one of these days. Okay, the next one that I have lives in this Jack and Sally bag, which I love. I love the inside. It's very cool. And this is another full coverage chart by Melanie Dellon by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is Toil. And I'm telling you, I have the biggest start on her. It's huge. I kind of went through a thing where I was starting a bunch of full coverage pieces, and I got tired of starting in the top left corner and stitching either 310 or 939. So I started her in the middle just so I could do something that had a little bit of interest to it, and that's what I have. I have the top bone in her hair. And she is also going to be absolutely huge on this fabric as well too. I tell you, I don't know how people can do like supersized charts. I'm thinking at the ones that I have, I will be lucky if I get them done in my lifetime. But each to their own, right? So it's just not for me. But I mean, that's why there's so much variety out there. So there's something for everybody, right? So okay, the next one is going to be in this Woodland Creature Bag. And this one is going to be the Squirrels of Sumatra. This is an ink circle chart. And I am stitching this with one strand of sulky thread. And I think the color is like candy apple or something. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it's called candy apple. And I don't know if this is, oh, let's try it this way. We'll go with the way the squirrel is telling me. And this is as far as I have gotten. So I'm really liking the way the thread is working up. I think it will give it a very like autumnal look. And yeah, this actually stitched up pretty fast, this part. So I'm gonna have to, as everybody says, I'm gonna have to get back to this. And after this, I'm going to want to stitch on all the things. So okay, next one is going to be another full coverage, not by Hade. This one is going to be by Tilton Crafts. And this one is called Kitten's Attack. I'm stitching this on 32 count, probably white, even weave, 1/1. And I love her. She's so cute. And all the kittens just like loving all over her. Especially this little guy with the heart. He's so cute. And this one I think I have the first 2 pages done on. The colors are just so soft. I finally have a start of a fur monster right there. Oh, I love this one. This one is kind of nice because it's not quite so confetti heavy compared to some of the Hades. It's got a little bit more block stitching in it, so it makes for a little bit of a nice break, but yet you still get the nice blending of colors and everything else, right? So okay, the next one is going to be my oldest whip. This one is called Air Dragon. This is a chart by Cross My Heart Incorporated, and it is designed by Sherry Step Ewu. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I started this, oh my goodness, I don't even know when, like 2017 probably. It's old. So there's actually, well, here's the other two, or the other three. This one is the Earth Dragon. This one I've completed. This one is the Fire Dragon. I've completed that one as well too. And after this one, I'm going to do the Water Dragon. And they're all stitched on black fabric. And I have worked on this one in the last year or so. Not a lot, but I have made some progress to it. And the black doesn't bother me. This part actually was probably the worst, is all this half stitches at the bottom. Because for some reason, all the colors blend together. Like, they all look like white to me. Like, even on camera. But there's probably like, I don't know, probably at least 12 different colors in there. It's ridiculous. Oh, maybe there you can see the difference. But anyways, my brain doesn't compute half stitches very well. So anyways, but I do want to work on this one. This one is definitely something that I am keeping out to get some progress on. And this one lives in this little tribal creature bag. So, okay. Okay, next up. We're doing actually not too bad for time. Kind of impressed with myself. This is going to be another Heaven and Earth design. The bag for this one is in this like kind of cool animal fabric. And this one is another Heaven and Earth design. It's Controller by Anne Stokes, who has since been retired from Heaven and Earth designs. But she's very cool. And I believe I am stitching her on 25 count even weave, 2/1 full cross. And this one calls for so much black, it's ridiculous. I probably should have just stitched it on black, but that's as far as I have gotten. I was originally going to do like what Alara's doing for her Dragons of Savat, and I was going to stitch all the black, and I need confetti to keep me in check because as soon as I get like big blocks of color, I make mistakes. So I had to start filling in. And I think this one has the first 4 pages, well, not the first 4 pages, but I think there's like, this is right here is about 4 pages, and then I think I have a 5th page finished here. So I have a fair amount done on this one. I mean, not in the grand scheme of things, but I do have a good solid start on this one. And there's so much black. I think this one calls for 60 8 skeins of black or something. It's ridiculous. So I have an entire Michael's bag full in here. Okay. Which one should I show next? This is one of the first project bags that we made. This was our little prototype, and yeah, it's kind of cute. I like it. But this one I'm going to probably have to insert a picture of what it's going to look like. I will try and throw one up here. And this one is called, oh, what is it called? It's by Leela Studio, and it is called Nevermore. I think a couple people have stitched this one. I am not very far on it, and this is a piece of, probably Picture This Plus in something. If you want to know what the fabric is, shoot me a message and I will look into it for you. But I have not gotten very far. I have just made the very tiniest start on the center raven. So this one is not very far along. But it's not a race. So the next one I will show is going to be, this is by Rosewood Manor. I'm stitching this on 32 count Country Mocha. And this is the Autumn Quaker. She's got, there are 4 of them, and one for each season. Started with the autumn one. And this is on the Vintage Country Mocha. It's the stamped piece of fabric. And this is as far as I have gotten. And to me, this is stitching up pretty fast when I work on it. And I absolutely love the colors of the Valdani threads, which is what I'm using. I really need to pull this out again. I've been watching a lot of, let me see if I can remember the name. Diary of a, what is it? I will put her link down below, and she's working on this. I think she's relatively new to Flosstube for cross-stitching, but she did have a knitting channel before, and she's hilarious. I love her. So if you're interested, go give her a shout. This is in my zebra bag. Diary of a It'll come to me. Probably after the video is done, but it will come to me. Okay, the next one is going to be one that I have been working on for a very long time. This is by Annie Rodrigue. This is another Haid as well. This is my Red Riding Hood. And she was the first Haid that I started, and I was like, oh, I could stitch this in like a couple months. She said like 18 years ago. But I have a fair amount done, so this is where I'm at. And I love her. She's so cute. She's got some sparkle on her face. The confetti in this one isn't too bad. I just find I burn out on pink after a while, but as soon as I am finished another project, this is going to be my focus. Well, I use the term focus piece very loosely, which I will explain at the end of the video. The next one is going to be, oh, I love this chart. I love it. This is called A Sampler of Seasons. It's by Northern Expressions Needlework. I have all the Baldowny threads inside, and this is what it's going to look like when it is done. And I love it. These are all like specialty stitches in the bands, and it's just, it's going to be amazing when it's done. And this is being stitched on 32 count raw linen. And I am not too far along, but I do have the center verse done. And in case you can't read it, it says, "A tree is a wondrous, glorious thing, born with the raindrops every spring. Its boughs reach up and into the sky, gathering summer sunshine up high. In autumn it bursts into righteous hues, enhancing the eye with inspiring views. A performance like this is tiresome to keep, so it settles itself for a long winter sleep." And I love the verse, and I love everything about this. So I can't wait to work on this more. I think I would like to turn this into one of those like stitch it during the season pieces, so I could actually get it done that way. And it lives in this very furry from the cat's project bag, but I love it. And better the cat hair is on the bag instead of the project. So, okay, so I have another full coverage here. This one has also been started forever ago. It's another Heaven and Earth Designs. It's called When Fairies Talk. The artwork is by James Christensen. And this is what it will look like when it is done. This chart is very heavy in confetti. Holy smokes. But it's going to look so good when it's done. This, thankfully, is not charted. So it's just the actual picture inside that you have to stitch. But this is where I've gotten to on this one. I think I have a full 2 pages done on this one too. And I started in the center on this one just for something interesting to do. And yeah, there's a lot of confetti in her. But oh, she looks so good. This is the one that I keep wanting to actually pull out and stitch on. But I have not done that recently, so. Okay, the next one is going to be in this bag. It's got the deadhead moths on it. It's so pretty. I love it. And then this like really nice black florally fabric. And oh, this one is actually on my scroll frame. This one is one of my focus pieces right now. So this is by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is Grove. The artwork is by Marta Dollig, and she's like one of my favorites. Love it. And excuse me, please, I will need to unravel her. So this is the full coverage that I have the most done on. That is what she is looking like. Oh, she looks so good. Well, as good as she can. Like, she looks creepy, but she looks amazing. So this is the first three rows done. And I think I have two more full rows and then like a little partial row left to do. And I was hoping to get the next row done by the end of the year, but I don't know if that'll happen or not. I'd have to put in some serious stitching with her. But the ones on the ends are like a lot of black stitching, which I know a lot of people can bang out, but I just find it so boring. So she is one of my focus pieces. She is out on the scroll rods all the time, and she is staying out until she's done. Whenever that may be. It could be like another 3 years, and that's fine. But she's going to live on the bars until she is done. I don't know if other people are like this, but like for large projects that I have on scroll bars, even these ones that are relatively easy to swap out pieces for, I hate doing it. Once I have my piece in like the good spot, I like to keep them there, right? So so she's gonna live on there until she's done, because she's in her sweet spot right now. So the next piece that I have, I got a couple in this bag, and this is my Labyrinth David Bowie, very bright, colorful bag. This was my New Year, New Start this year. This is by Shepherd's Bush. This is called Happy Haunting. This is what it will look like when it is done. I will say this is not the best written pattern. I've struggled with some of it because it's hand charted, like it's hand drawn, so it's very hard to read, and it's not the clearest of instructions at times. So it is what it is. I changed the fabric. This is a piece of hand dyed something that I dyed myself, and this is how far I have gotten. I think like whenever we do these bands, it's not clear on where you start that first stitch, like whether it's half a stitch in or a full stitch in or right at the edge, so you have to do a little bit of math with it. I think this top row here I had to rip out, and I started several times to get it centered, right? So like I say, just not the clearest instructions, but we're gonna press on. And I always try for my New Year, New Start, I try and make it something that I can finish that year. So as you can see, I have not worked on this for a while, and I need to put some serious work into it. So if you were if you watched my last video of my Finish Parade, I was showing these little ornaments from the Cross Stitch collection, December 2012. And I had stitched 2 of the ornaments already. Just gonna cover that so you don't see the pattern, but I've stitched this guy, and I have this guy to stitch. And I also have this guy to stitch as well too. So technically they're not whips, but I'm calling them whips because I have 2 of the 4 done already. So technically it's a whip of 4 projects, even though these 2 haven't specifically been started yet. I was actually going to change the fabric that I was stitching them on to this linen-y type stuff instead of the even weave that I stitched the other 2 on. But I don't know. I think this is pretty see-through, and I'm second guessing stitching them on there. So I think that's been the big hold on like getting those going. So, okay. The next bag that I have is this little ghosty bag. I put this, this yellow fabric inside to like symbolize their little candles that they have. The ghosts in this one actually glow in the dark. They're so cute. It caught me off guard the first time I came into the living room and my bag was glowing. But it's very cute. I love it. So, and in this one I have a chart. This is off of Etsy. I'm trying to see. I don't have the designer name, but I can look it up for you if you are interested. And I'm not sure what the name of this is called, but I'm just calling it Ghost Cats. And this is how far I've gotten. I am doing all the black first, and then I will go back in and I will fill in all the colors, which I think will be super cute. The first time I started this, I started it on way too small of count of fabric, so I had to restart it. And this one I'm just stitching in hand. It's so small and it's little, and it doesn't really matter to me so much about, you know, if it's perfect or not, because it's just going to be this little tiny ornament, right? So that one's just a little quick stitch for in hand when I just need to pick up something simple for a couple minutes if I have a chance. Okay. Next up, I have a few projects in this one too. So the first project in here is going to be a chart by Stitchy Princess Black, and this is a chart that she asked people to stitch in solidarity with Ukraine, and this is called Magical Swamp. Just trying to see if I have the cover photo here. Nope, I do not. I will throw up a picture off to the side there. And this one I'm stitching on one count. I'm stitching this on 40 count, 1 thread over 2 on this greeny, very light green fabric. And I've not gotten super far on it. I really need to pull it out again. There's yeah, it's a really cute design. I like it a lot. I just need to work on it a little bit more. The 40 count is a big difference for me. I having a little, and the holes are really tiny on this. Like I stitched on 40 count for another project, but it was a silk fabric and the holes were very big, so it was really easy to see. This one, the holes, like the weave is so tight on this. I don't know if you can see, like you can barely see any holes in there. So it's a little bit more challenging, this 40 count. The next one I have in here is, oh, I'm not sure about this fabric. This is, I'm not sure about the fabric on this one. This is a free chart by Forest Embroidery, and it's called The Cats Have Arrived, and I just thought it was so cute, and that's what it'll look like when it's done. Don't mind how tattered my page is. So for those of you that used to follow me on Flosstube, you'll know when I started Flosstube, I had 2 cats. I had Sterling and I had Sawyer. And at that point, Sawyer was already quite elderly. Like he was probably around 15 or 16 years old. So he was an old cat, right? And then I ended up going away to a stitching retreat. And when I came back, there was a litter of kittens that we found behind our house. So we kidnapped them all and I sent them out for adoption, but I chose to keep 2 of them hostage in my house and give them a better life and whatnot else. So we went from having 2 cats to 4 cats. And then I quit doing Flosstube. And then there was a deal on bangles one day. And the next thing I knew, I had 6 cats. And when I saw this, I thought, oh, like this one here in the tree looks like my old black and white Miska that I've named myself and my channel after. I thought like, this one here is gonna be the one bangle. This one here is gonna be like Pebble, and this one's gonna be Vlad, and then Sawyer and the other bangle are gonna be flying in the air because they're just like crazy. And I was gonna change all of them to the cats that I have. And unfortunately, since then I'm now back down to 4 cats. I mean, like I say, Sawyer was very old when I first started Flosstube, and unfortunately he got to be too old, and he lived to the ripe old age of 23 for a cat, and that is amazing. And unfortunately, one of the bangles ended up with a very aggressive form of cancer that we just couldn't do anything with. So this is a kind of a little bit of an emotional piece for me, and I do really want to work on it, and I do still want to do the cats. I was 1 cat short though, and so I was going to do it my mom's old cat, which was a black, this is a pure black cat, and like I say, I was going to put all of them in here. So I think it'll be a nice tribute piece, but at the same time too, it is a little emotional for me to work on too. So, but this is what I have already done. And this isn't the best fabric. It's kind of awful to work on, but so this one right here, this was my Miska. This one here is Mama. She's got the one curly whisker because that's what she always had. She always had one whisker that kind of curled up in the air. This one here is, oh, which one? This one here is Pebble. And I think this one was just the cat that was in the tree. I didn't have another, I was still short a cat, so I just did the one that was in the tree. So, but that's where I'm at. This one's pretty easy to stitch. It's just got a lot of like a lot of like 2 and 3 stitching just in the leaves and stuff like that, so that part's kind of annoying, but it's relatively easy to stitch. So anyways, so I will have to work on this one again and get it done, and same thing that I've said about every other project that I've shown you. But that one lives in the bag with the Swamp Princess. The other one that is in that bag is this pattern that I bought. It's not really cross-stitch, but I keep it together anyways. This is a Christmas bell, and it's these kind of like, what do you call it? Long stitch? I don't know if it's kind of like an embroidery type thing, but you stitch a bunch of these and then you stitch a couple of those and then you sew them together and it makes this bell when it's all done. And I had originally started doing this with some the metallic DMC stuff that is awful to work with, and I just thought it would be like really pretty and it would like look really nice and blah 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 blah, and it was so terrible to work with, and I gave up on it. But so I changed it, and this is what I've done. So it's just kind of something different. I mean, I'm definitely not anywhere close to having a new Christmas ornament yet, but one day it will happen, and yeah, I think they'll be really pretty when they're done. They're just the black is really kind of hard to count on. I normally don't have problems with black, even with good light and like putting something light behind on my lap or whatever. I usually don't have a problem, but with this, when you start doing the stitches, they kind of cover the holes, so it makes it a little bit harder too. So anyways, I will look forward to eventually having that done. One day. And I'm not sure if I showed, but this is the bag that those 3 projects live in. Sorry. Between this and the last video, I've done a lot of talking this afternoon. Okay, next one. Oh, that is for later. Okay, the next one that I have is Village at Hawr Hollow, or sorry, Halloween at Hawr Hollow, which everybody has probably seen already. I'm not going to take this off of my thing because you're not going to miss anything. But I have gotten 3 blocks done. So I've done the first one. And then I've done the mermaid one. And then I went and I did all the blocks so I could go wherever I wanted. And I got this one done. And then started making a start on the pumpkin patch below it. And for some reason, I feel like even though this one is like full coverage, this one took me like the least amount of time to stitch. So, but there is a lot of stitching in this piece. And I am stitching this on, I believe, 28 count. Or is it 32 count? Hold please. One over 1 on 32 count vintage country mocha. So it's quite a large piece, but I didn't want it to be like wall hanging size, so I decided to go for a very small count, and it's going to be teeny tiny compared to everybody else's. So okay, so I have 2 more whips to show you, and that lives in this bag right here. This is like the counterpart to the moon one that I have. So I just love them. So I needed, occasionally I like to keep a bag for myself before I sell them. So those ones are in there. Okay, so the next two that I have are full coverages. And then I'll kind of explain to you my plan of like what I'm doing for my stitching, if you can call it a plan. Okay, the next one that I have is a full coverage. This is by Love Thy Thread. And I'm stitching this 2 strands on probably 32 count? Maybe 28 count. I think 28 count. It's tiny. But this is what it is going to look like when it is done. It's really pretty. My friend Ashley completed this piece and it's so nice. I love it. And I have to excuse my hanging thread, but this is as far as I've gotten. The detail is really good in this chart. There is some confetti, but it's not, no, if I remember correctly, it's pretty bad. But it's looking so good. I love like the mushrooms in the background where you can see like the shadow and stuff. Like it's really well charted. It's really a shame that Love Thy Thread isn't in business anymore because she did some amazing charts. So that is one that is also living on scroll bars. And the other one that I have is a relatively new start. This was my leap year start this year. So I have 4 years to finish this. Again, I was silly and I'm like, oh, it's so tiny. I can probably finish it by the end of this year. It's 6 pages. Only 2 are full pages and the other 4 are partials. So it's not a gigantic chart. As far as charts go by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's an oldie and it is also retired. The artwork is by Larry McDougall and it's called The Pumpkin Dealer. And this is what it's going to look like. So it's super tiny. It is only 224 by 168 stitches. So like little, right? I'm doing this one on 36 count 1/1 full cross. And I started in the center and then I kind of did some stuff and then I worked my way up to page 1. And I'm trying to kind of color complete page 1. And I have the first major color done and now I'm working on the second major color, and then after that I'm gonna just start filling it in. But I'm looking so forward to it. Like, he's gonna fit all in there. I'm not gonna have to move this. This is like amazing for me. So yeah, it's gonna look so good when it's done. It's just gonna look like a painting. I think you won't even be able to tell that it's stitched, I don't think. So that is all my stitching whips. So what I am doing is I have Grove, the Pumpkin Dealer, and Snails all on scroll bars. I think I have about 4 sets of Q-snaps. So what I've done is the 3 projects that are on the scroll bars, they stay on the scroll bars. I can rotate between any of them as I please, as I wish, whatever I feel like working on, I can work on them. Same with the Q-snaps that are with the projects. So the projects that have the Q-snaps are Halloween Hot Rod Hollow, the Chatelaine, the cats have arrived, and the Swamp Princess. What else did I... That's Hawr and Hollow. Oh, and the Air Dragon. So those ones all have the Q snaps with them. So again, those are the projects that I can work on whenever, like, those are the projects that I get to work on first. And then, so as soon as Grove is done, I can put another large piece on it, whatever will fit that size of scroll bars. So that could be the Sampler Seasons, it could be Toil or Stitches, which are also big full coverage pieces. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna put on the Fairies Talk to Fish because it is long. So it needs the large stretcher bars, and I really have been wanting to work on that one. As soon as Snails is done, this one here, this is where Red Riding Hood is gonna go. And then again, as soon as those ones are done, then I can swap out and put new projects on it. The full coverages have to stay on the scroll bars because that's just how I like to work on my full coverages. The other things like Pandemic and any like Nora Corbett's, the small pixies and stuff I can work on the Q snaps. The larger Miras I would like to have on the scroll bars as well too. So I might alternate between like a Mira, something I can get done rather quickly compared to a full coverage, and just try and get through some of these projects that way. I still have variety that I can work on, so I'm not limited, but at the same time too, I'm hoping that this way I can get some of these larger projects finished. That's my goal. And in this case, some of the larger projects done, because 6 pages I can get done in a year, right? So no biggie. So that is my stitching plans. That is my stitching goals. That is all my whips for cross stitch. I do have some knitting whips I was going to show. I know not everybody is into that. So if you would like to check out, this has been already an hour long. So I would like to thank you for joining me again for the second time, possibly today. And yeah, I'm just going to quickly show some of my whips for my knitting projects because I have some really good ones, I think, that I'm enjoying working on. And yeah, we'll see how this whole floss tubing thing goes. Again, I'm not sure. It depends on if I can get enough content together to show that I feel like I have a decent video to talk about stuff. Will depend on if I do this again, and also it depends on the state of my house and like if I have the kind of peace and quiet where I can work on this. So that's what all of this will kind of depend on. So we'll see what happens. And if you are going to check out, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was at least somewhat entertaining for you. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If not, that's okay too. If you have any questions about anything, leave me a comment down below and I will get back to you and respond to you that way. I won't say I'll respond to you in my next video because you might be waiting a while. So I will try and directly respond to you if you have anything that you were unclear about, or if I missed something, please let me know. Okay, thank you so much for joining me if you're leaving, and I will show you the few yarny projects that I have. So, the first one that I have is going to be this shawl from Amba. I love her shawls. She's amazing. This is called the Ghost Knitters shawl, and it's this like amazing striped with these skulls on the bottom. Love it. And I have just made the smallest of starts on it, but I think it will be very cool and very Halloween-y, and I can't wait to see more of it come together. And it's super easy to knit as well too. And so this is as far as I have gotten. So the black is, I think, Cascade yarns. It's just a plain black yarn. This one right here is called Hello Wicked, and it is by Black Cat Custom Yarns. And I love it. And I feel like once I can get into a groove with it, it's gonna go by so fast. And the project bag for this one is going to be this Day of the Dead bag. These beautiful ladies in it. And I did colorful sugar skulls on the inside. And I love it. It's awesome. Okay. The next one that I have is going to be the Shadow Dancer shawl. This is by Boo Knits. This one I have been working on for way too long. I need to just like focus on it and get it done. But it was a mystery sal for Halloween. And this is kind of what the pattern looks like. I'm knitting it with this beautiful purple fuzzy mohair. And it's got these beads in it. And I just think it's going to be amazing when it's done. It's very lacy, but it's a very easy to memorize lace. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, I really need to definitely pull this one out again and get some work done on it. And this is living in this yarn bowl that I got off of Etsy. I'm not sure of the store name, but I love it. The next shawl that I have is one by Stephen West. And this is the Aurora Cabin shawl. And I'll just show you, that's what it will look like when it's done. And for this one, I was inspired for I wanted a Halloween-y shawl. I thought it would look so cool. So I went to, this is a local dyer for me, and it's called Numana Yarns. She has amazing colors, amazing colors. And I'm almost towards the last border, the chevron border is where I'm almost at. So I'm so close to being done. But this is what I've done. And I think it just, I had this bohemian Halloween. I just wanted all the Halloween colors in it. And I think it's just going to be just so fun and just so vibrant, and it's a really cool pattern as well too. So I'm definitely, I need to, after I'm done the shawl that I'm currently working on, this is going to be my focus, because I need to get this done, and hopefully by Halloween, because that would be even better. And this one is living in this crow bag, and it's got the candy corns on the inside. So this shawl is 5 full skeins, and it can fit comfortably in this bag, and I don't have any issues. I don't worry about catching the yarn in the zipper or anything like that. It's awesome. It's just what I need for my needs. Okay, the next yarn, is tired. It's probably 1 in the morning. I need to go to bed. The next one that I am going to show you is, this is the, I think it's called the Kulan shawl. This is by Wolf and Fawn Knits off of Ravelry. This is what it is going to look like. But I was experimenting, and instead of buying a fingering weight lace or fingering weight yarn, I bought a DK weight and a mohair, and I am trying my own kind of thing with this. So this is actually quite easy to knit as well too. So it's just a simple stripe, and then I've doubled the mohair for the lace part, and I've gone up a needle size. So I'm hoping in the end, when this is all blocked out and everything, it will be okay, but we'll see when it's all done. Like I say, this is a bit of an experiment, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but there's the first lacy bit, and I'm back to more rose. But I just love this yarn so much. I had to have it, and they all look so good together. So these two colors and then the mohair. And these are all by Midnight Cravings. And yeah. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this won't be a complete flop, because that would just be disappointing. And if it is, well, I'll chalk it up to a learning experience. So, and that is living in this black cat Ouija board, all sorts of good things bag. And I put spider webs on the inside. Okay, next shawl. I do actually have a sweater on the go as well too, but it's not something, I've never done a sweater before. I've never like really done gauge or anything like that before, so it's just kind of more of a test knit for myself. So I'm not going to show you that because I probably will never wear it, but I wanted to try a sweater with some cheaper yarn just to see, because I would really love to do a sweater one day. But for now, I love shawls because there's no gauge required. You just kind of like cast it on, and it's a lot of fun stitches, and you know, they're hard to screw up essentially. So okay, the next one is by the Blue Brick. This is called the Heavy Metal Shawl, and this is what it will look like. And this one I started with Kim Stitchery off of Instagram. And so I have two of these, sorry, crinkles, two of these mini skein sets. And I'm just gonna go until it's done. And this is where I've gotten to. So it's this cool like basket weave kind of texture. So, and that is living in this astrology bag with the stars and stuff on the inside. Okay. Next, this is going to be the Geo Gradient Shawl by Stephen West. I don't think I have the pattern for it, but I will try and show what it'll look like. This was another mystery knit along. And this is the color palette that I chose for this. Just this really cool yellow to burgundy color. Oh, I showed you the back. There we go. So that's where I'm at. I think this is just the end of clue 1 that I've done. I haven't done anything further because I got distracted by the Aurora Cabin shawl. But these as well are by Numana Yarns. And let's see if I can that's the colors. Aren't they amazing? Oh, she dyes such good colors. Oh, just amazing. And I love how not everything is like highly variegated with her. And I even have a cross stitch pattern in here. Wow. Okay. One that is not started yet, but. And that is in this cute little froggy bag. But I love it. Super cute. And 2 more. So this is the other Stephen West MCAL that I started. And I have not picked up for quite a while. This is the Twists and Turns, and I thought the center part was just too cool not to join in. And I just think this is just such a unique shape shawl that it doesn't look practical to wear, but I feel like I will wear it like all the time once it's done. So I've gotten 1 part of the wing done. I need to now work on this side, but again, I need to finish the other 2 things first. And again, these are Numana yarns because that's just what I do. So those are the colors that I picked. And yeah. And the bag for this one is this like whimsical deer type bag, but I think it looks so cool. I like it. And all my bags are just like so covered in cat hair. It's ridiculous. And this is a scarf that I'm working on. This one is called Insomnia. So cool. So this is double-sided, but that is what it will look like when it's done. This is definitely a new to me technique, but it's kind of therapeutic once you get into the groove of it. So hold on. Oop. Oh, please. Okay. So this is the good side. And then this is the other side. So it's completely reversible, where everything is a knit. Everything is a knit stitch, and you knit it together, and it's just so cool. So it's kind of a little bit like cross stitch, where you have to read each row and decide which color you're gonna stitch with. It's very cool, but it's a little bit slower of a process than regular knitting, but I think when it's done, it's just going to be amazing. And that is living in this little triangular bag because it's just kind of cute and fun. And it's only like 2 small balls of yarn, so for right now. The last whip that I'm working, or last knitting whip that I'm working on is a new MCal by Amba. And this is the This or That pattern. And it starts off with, you decide if you're going to stitch the wrap or knit the wrap or the shawl version. And then for every clue, you have several alternatives. It's kind of like one of those like choose your own adventure books, if you remember those when you were a kid. Like, to jump through the fire, go to page like 67. To jump like into the hole, jump to page 23. Like, it's just, that's what it reminds me of, right? And so I'm just having so much fun with this. I decided to do the wrap because I have a million shawls, so I just wanted something a little different. And I convinced Kim Stitchery to join this with me because why not? So this was the first clue, and you could pick either spots or stripes, and I chose to mix the two of them together. And then you go into some lace, which was also part of clue 1. And then this mosaic pattern right here, and this triangle lace again was clue 2. So I'm just starting clue 3. But this is what my shawl looks like so far. I think it's so funky. It's really, to me, it's really relaxing to knit, because once you, like, this is all just repeats, right? Like, and once you kind of memorize it, it's so easy, right? And I'm really just enjoying this. I love the colors I have, and I'm really enjoying this. So as soon as this is done, I'm gonna focus on the Aurora Cabin shawl and then try and kind of move through the whips again with this. But you know that there's gonna be like a new something that shows up, and I'll have to find yarn and cast on. Okay, 2 more things, and then we can all go to bed, because this has been like a really long day of video. I have 2 crochet patterns that I'm doing. Excuse the Velcro, it's going to be noisy. This I actually started, there was a friend of mine that was having a baby. This was probably at the start of COVID, and I was crocheting a baby blanket for him. And then he turned out not to be such a good friend anyways, so I'm not heartbroken that I never got this finished for him, but I am still gonna finish this. This is the Hugs and Kisses baby blanket, and this is crocheted. And so I had actually done one for another friend, and I had started red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And then for this one, I was gonna start at the other end of the rainbow and work my way up and then go back down again. So this is as far as I've gotten. I am still gonna work on this, but I find this blanket, especially with the baubles in it, to be very hard on my hands, so I can only do it for a little bits at a time. But I might try and get a different hook and see if that will make the difference that I need. It probably will, because they didn't design crochet hooks very well for people that want to crochet for eons of time at a time. So the other thing that I am doing is a blanket. This is for a coworker of mine. He is very, very religious and has just been going through some tough times and stuff like that. So I figured I would crochet him a blanket. This is, I think, the mosaic technique. I don't know. Kim Stitchery said I could do it, so I'm doing it. She believes in me. So this is what I have done so far. This is going to be a Bible verse, and essentially I'm using a big Karen cake to do the lettering, and then I'm just using a beige, and I think the effect of it will be very kind of cool. So this is it. This is my host of whips. All of them, except for all the sewing stuff, but you don't need to see the bins of fabric over there. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was entertaining, and I hope maybe I enabled a little somebody to do something, or maybe not. But yeah, that's kind of my stitching plans going forward. Like I say, I don't know if the videos will become a regular thing, but I have wanted to do a Wip Parade for at least a year and a half now. So I'm glad that I got it done. I will hopefully get this uploaded probably tomorrow. So a happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. And thank you so much for sticking with me. And if you have been a subscriber before, thank you so much for, tuning in again. And if this is the first time you're seeing my video, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So if there's any questions that you have, please leave a comment down below and I will do what I can to get back to you. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day, week, month, possibly a year. We'll see what happens. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye.